Hey guys, it's Lisa back with another video for you for Lisa Wise Designs, and today we're going to wrap up the Boho Christmas mini album. The last video we kind of did a little walkthrough of the album that we had put together, and I said I would come back and show you my completed album from start to finish, and it's got photos in it, which is such a fun conclusion. I love it when I can get things off the camera roll and put it into an album. I did want to mention, before we go too much further, on page 28, I did not go over how to cut the pattern paper and adhere to this pop-up mechanism, and behind it, I'm sorry about that. I guess I was just in too much of a hurry. So there's a little bitty pieces here. I might not even done that in the cutting guide, but it's very easy. So just apologize about that. It's not on camera, but you do have those instructions there. So if you notice, this one is a little taller because it's completely finished, and it's still got some room in there even with all of my photos in it, and I've even got some more goodies in there. So this is kind of what the finished album looks like. So let's kind of walk through that. I was just determined to get my Christmas photos from 2024 put into an album. We had a lot of professional photos made that year for some reason. It just kind of happened to fall that way. So I wanted to get those put where I could enjoy them and my family could enjoy them. So Boho Christmas is the name of this collection from Simple Stories. And I really like how we use the brads here. Look at that. There's Athena bug with Santa. Athena's gone to the same photographer with the same Santa. Of course, there's only one, right? But she's gone to see this same Santa 3 years in a row. So I put all of her pictures in here of all 3 years of going to see Santa Claus. I thought that was really fun. So this was her first year when she was her birthday's in December, so she had just turned 3 here, and she had just turned 5 here. So we'll see those 3 years in here. Alrighty. Oh my goodness, I'm already just so excited. Look how different it looks with different with just pictures. I mean, I can't even talk now. And something I did differently is I did not use this album as a December daily. So I didn't put in all of the numbers, but I did use the 3, 4, and 5 because that's how old she is in these 3 pictures. So this was the first version. So in each day of December, you can put in a picture on that day of the month. And I'm probably going to use this other album for that this year. But this is 2024. Oh, it's actually other years. Look how this pop-up mechanism turned out with the picture on it. Okay, let me get a little better view here. So cute. I love it, love it, love it. So much better than just the ephemera pieces, in my opinion. Look at how she's looks like she's holding her heart. It's so cute. So this is, yeah, when she was 3 years old, the first time that she had these photos made. And look at him with his little pipe. I just love it. He is absolutely the best Santa ever. All right, so there's that one. I'm supposed to be showing you the album, not just Santa. But anyway, look at this face. Oh, so good. So I just wrote her name, and I used this, like I said, that she's 3 years old, and I used the 4 and the 5. And then what I plan on doing with my leftover numbers is I've been doing some listing, like I'm journaling, but I'm using a list in that journal. So things that will say, like, things that make me smile, and then, you know, I'll number them. And so I'm going to use those numbers for a list, so they will not go to waste. Oh my goodness, love. Okay, and so here you can see, instead of layering on with those numbers, I'm just layering on what I have with the ephemera. Photos taken in Jemison, Alabama. She is so little here. Oh, cannot believe. I probably should still put the dates on them too, even though it says how old she is. So Mickey Mouse is still, this Mickey is still in our bed every night, but at this point in her life, he went with us everywhere, everywhere. And I mean everywhere. So we have a backup Mickey just in case. And she does know that there are two Mickeys. And she knows which one's her favorite, but in a pinch, backup Mickey is okay if she needs him. So I didn't put anything here. I just let the pattern paper do the work here. And this is where it starts the next year. You can see how she has grown. Oh my goodness. So good. Yeah, this is one that should go on the mantle, right? That's so cute. And so then I put on here that she's 4 years old on these pictures. Love this little dress. Oh, so cute. Love this here. I'm supposed to be talking about the paper in the album, but I get off here. Oh, I just love. Okay, so see how I try to pull different aspects in here. Like here's the Santa, so I pulled this little journaling piece with the Santa, put fa la 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 here. I love it when they do the pictures like it looks like they're whispering each other's ear. I've got some of those. They're so cute. So cute. And this Mr. Santa Claus told me that his wife, Mrs. Claus, makes his clothes for these pictures, and I thought that was really cool. He does have different outfits, which I love, which why should he not? So I did add here some baker's twine that I just had in my stash. In the first version, I didn't really know how to use these couple of black and white ephemera pieces, because nothing was black and white that I realized. But then when I looked at this pattern paper close enough, I did see this is where the black and white is coming in. So I used it on this piece of paper. I don't think I used it in the first one because it didn't seem to match anything. But I finally found a place for that. Santa's reading her a book. Isn't that cute? Love the little reindeer in the back. We did ask which reindeer this was because we didn't know. And he told us it was Donner. I should probably write that on here too. So the second year that she saw Santa Claus, she brought him a gift. So the photographer had finished taking pictures, but she got her camera back out because she just couldn't let this go, she said. So we took him a big box of different types of cookies. I don't know why she's pointing at him to open it, but it's so cute. So she just continued to take pictures here with him opening it. So I decided I needed a little bit more oomph on this page, so I just took some of the pattern paper and tore the end of it, added some more things to that. So here's one where I added a flat, very busy paper. I tried to tone it down a little bit with some pattern paper here. I just wrote on here, cookies, yum. You can see they're enjoying the cookies together. She's actually got like a little brownie, and he's got a cookie. And he's opening, and she's just so excited to share with him. And he told her if she was going to leave some cookies, that his very favorite cookie to have on Christmas Eve was regular, plain old chocolate chip, but it had to be homemade. So we did make chocolate chip cookies for him. So then after her sugar rush of running around, she's taken off here in the studio. He acted like he went to sleep from his sugar crash, which I thought was really, really cute. I think that's coming up here. Oh, here's the ones where they act like they're whispering. That's so adorable. So I also had a couple of these little clips in my stash, so I just used that to hold this down because it was flopping a little bit here. There he is. She's trying to wake him up. So adorable. Wake up, Santa. Then she's reading the little card that came with the cookies because they were not homemade. But we did make some Christmas Eve that were homemade. And then we go into the next year. So I wanted to show you this too, which I thought was really fun. I had this red dress that I found for her 5th year to meet Santa Claus, but I didn't love that it was just red. So my mother, who is a great seamstress from the year before, she took this green satin piece off of this sequin dress from the year before, and we reused the bow. So you see just this part, she just, I don't know, took off the dress somehow and sewed it on the red dress here. Isn't that cool? And we reused the bow. I just love that. I love that my mother's so crafty and such a seamstress. So this took us all the way to the end of those 24 pages, the 12, back and front and the center, and then now we're on the back cover. Can you believe that? Can you believe it holds this many photos? Oh, That's so good. So you can see he's got a different coat on this year. So he had on like burgundy, and now he's got on bright red, which went with her bright red. That's kind of worked out. You can see how I'm layering things here and just adding a little more trim that I have in my stash. The Merry and Bright. Oh, just can't believe the difference between the first year and the third year. So Mickey was with us all 3 sessions of taking photos. I don't think he made it into the photos that I have here, but every photo session that I've had made of her, and I think we've gone to, I think we have 2 different photographers that we use. Oh, look at him. Something's coming out. Here's magic. We take Mickey with us, and he usually makes it into a few photos. We had some Easter pictures made, and he was very prominent in the Easter pictures because he was in the basket. I love that. He almost has a twinkle in his eye as she's taking things out. So there was a box, and of course the photographer afterwards added these little special effects. But in the box was little toys that she could choose from, like a little treasure chest. I really like how this worked out too, because I had this big, oh, excuse me, this big tag that comes in the ephemera pack, and didn't know where to put the snowman, so I layered him on there because he's also large, so that turned out pretty good. Oh, it's wrinkling up her face, and I really like this last little photo here. So I hope you've enjoyed kind of walking through the album, how it looks like with pictures and how many pictures you can get in there. And also seeing that if you don't have enough pictures, which, hey, wouldn't that be a nice problem to have, you can combine years, just like I have too. I have been really wanting to get these photos, like I said, off the camera roll, you know, off my phone, you know, off the internet, and into an album to enjoy. So this is kind of fun having 3 years in one. So I'm sure that we will continue to see Santa Claus a few more times, and then it'll just have to go into its own little album. So there was that. Hope you enjoyed it. And for a special treat, I remade the album using different pattern paper. So if you didn't want to pick up the whole kit and you just wanted to pick up the tutorial only, you can do that, and I will show you what it looks like with different paper. I don't think this is available anymore. I hate that when it happens, but I've had this in my stash at least 4 or 5 years. It's from Prima Marketing. It's called Christmas in the Country, if you did want to look and see if you owned this or if it's available on eBay or something. But I have just decided, I mean, I have so much paper and so many goodies that I'm just not going to hoard them anymore. I have to use them. And when is a better time to use them than now? I mean, what am I waiting on? I have a lot of clothes in my closet the same way. So I've just decided this year, next year is going to be those years of just using what I have. But I made the album exactly the same, just different pattern paper. And look how different it looks here. So this was the album. I think I misspoke when I first introduced the other album. This is the album that we had some more professional photos made in 2024. We had Athena acting like she was cooking some cookies, which was really cute. And then we also had some pajama pictures of her and I. So I combined those the same year, same photographer, I think. And yeah, it was just different time frames, a couple of months apart. So this is the one with her and I in matching pajamas, and we got some Christmas hats. You know how hard it is to find Christmas hats when you take pictures in the summer? Yeah, Amazon has everything though. So cute. So I did not have any type of the little clips or anything with this collection, but it did have these little gems, and I always find them hard to use. So I thought on the outside of the album's a perfect place to use those. And then here's the one where she's baking. Oh my goodness, adorable. So, and so instead of jingle bells on this one, this collection also had some different metal pieces. And so I used a couple of snowflakes there. You know, Prima, they are known for their florals. So I had a couple of packs of florals. So I just used those 3 here, and then I put some of the gems just sprinkled around here and here, trying to use them in odd numbers. But this Santa Claus, this is absolutely just, it's just, I'm lost for words, I guess. It's so retro. It's just quintessential Christmas to me. Okay, put that out of the way here. So you can see it's made exactly the same, just looks very different with different pattern paper and photos. And this one is a lot more chunky because I put some of those florals inside, but it still doesn't have alligator mouth, which I'm very excited about. But I do have a lot of albums that do. And you just learn to live with it if it gets to that point. So here's a tag, and this says Christmas 2024 on it. Okay, this has got a little bit of the gold foil in the paper pack here. So here we are looking at Christmas books. She cut her hair last August on her own, so that was traumatic for me. So her hair is pretty short in these photos. So we wore Christmas hats on some of them. As you can see here, I did not put anything on this side of the pop-up. I just thought it was already busy enough. You know, I had some florals here and lots of different pattern paper, so I just decided it looked good just like that. And then on this one, it's got one of those 4x6 cutter parts on the behind it. I didn't put anything here like this one, and just put one of the best photos here. And then in this pop-up, you know, I have the date again. I didn't realize I dated it twice. Oh well, it is what it is. And the bird. So I think that turns out good. It's not as fun as my other one, but it's also not as busy, and I kind of like that. Okay. So here we're opening a gift, and the photographer put some little special magic on it afterwards. And I put a 25 in magical, and I really like that this album has so much extra room, so I could put some of these 3D elements. A lot of the times when you buy those Prima flowers, I'm afraid to put them in my albums because they're going to be too chunky. And that's so cute. So cute. And I bought these pajamas on Amazon too because, like I said, she was having a special. It was in August or September, and they were nowhere to be found at that time frame. I just love this retro look here. I love this paper so much, just left it alone and put my pictures on the back of the swing out pocket. You know, added some cutter parts here, these 2x3s. Oh, I love it. I've lost a lot of weight since then, so that just says I need to take some more photos. And then, like, there were so many photos between this, I already am transitioning into that second photo shoot that we had. That was a couple of months. I think actually this one came first because her hair's not cut. It had to have been. Yeah, this was a couple months before. And so I really like taking pictures in the summer, fallish for Christmas, so that you've got time to make your Christmas cards and scrapbook. Anyway, we called her our little Martha Stewart. So if you look right here behind this little flower thing, you'll see red in all these pictures, and that is Mickey. That's Mickey sitting there where she can see him, and that's his hat. So here we can see his little boots sticking out, but you wouldn't know that's what it was unless you knew what was going on. This was really fun. So fun. This has been so fun being able to do things like this with her that I could not afford when my child was growing up. This is, you know, very extravagant for me back then. Look at that face. Oh, the faces of Athena. This is really good, and that's where I put our little Martha Stewart here. She looks like she's about to open up her show and says, "Good morning, you know, welcome into my kitchen," type thing. But she's not a little baker. She doesn't really like her to get in the kitchen with me very much. She will crack some eggs. She'll cut up a couple things, but she likes to really make a mess. I'll say that. The Easy Bake Oven did not go over very well. She's had it a couple years, never wants to get it out. Maybe that will change. But boy, she really liked playing in this flower and getting it all over her. And then I put a little flip-flap here when she's making some funny faces. And pouring her little flower in with the little postcards. So this is a really cool album. Like I said, that you've got some room to put some chunky accents in there. You've also, it's an easy album. It comes together very quickly. There's not a lot of flip-flaps in here, or what am I trying to say? You don't need a roadmap, I think, to open this album and know how things open and pull out and twist and turn. You could make this for a gift and give it to someone and they would not be confused. Because I love making an album and then giving it to someone and watch them, you know, open it and look at it, and they just sometimes are confused and even frustrated, and they don't want to tear it up because they don't know how to open it in all those different ways. So this is kind of a fun one for that. Look at this close up. So good. We had to go home and take a good bath, like she likes to say. I love it. A lot of these are very similar, but they're all just so good, and the photographer gave me so many of them, and I had an album they would go in, so why not, right? Another little flip-flop here. I love that you can just add as many flip-flaps as you want. These photo mats, you know, this is of course a 3x4. It came in there. Look at her going, look, ta-da! This lady had some really pretty dishes. And this is the one, she turned the camera, she got around, even though you can see things that are not supposed to be seen, right, in the photograph, but she wanted to make sure that we got at least one Mickey picture in there. So I thought that was super sweet of her. If you ever need a photographer in town, let me know if you're ever in Alabama, because I know of two very good ones and very reasonable. So good. So I really like how you can see just like the strip here and how the deers come here. And see, look. I just love retro paper, especially at Christmas. I love the 50s and 60s Santa look there. I wish you could see the flower falling from her hands. She's already changed so much. She doesn't like wearing, she's wore a bow, you know, every time we go out of the house since she was 2 years old, I think. Maybe even sooner than that. And she just doesn't like them very much anymore. She just wants to wear little clips to keep her hair out of her face. This is so pretty. And one thing I was going to point out too is you can see that a lot of this is bright red and this is more of a burgundy, but it works. It works. I try not to let things like that bother me, which I have in the past, because it just works. Okay, here we go with the flower here, 4x6 cut apart. Pull this down here. So again, these pages, these flaps that are on the back of the album, they work for a photo in the landscape or portrait orientation. And then you just cut your strips, like the 1 3/4 inch strips, to take up the rest of the space. But I think all of these photos the photographer took are in one orientation. So I was running out of different things to put here. Like I ran out of the ephemera pieces, so I would cut things out of the paper. I had little stars that I would cut out. Here's like a 3x4 cut apart that I just kind of tore. I just really needed some more. I only had a couple of packs of ephemera, and this book does use a lot of ephemera because you have so many pages. This, I don't even think it went with this paper pack, but I don't know that it goes with anything here. It says Holly on the bottom, but anyway, it got put in there because it's supposed to go with this paper pack. But like I said, this collection is so old, I didn't think I could pick up anything else from it. I didn't even look. And so I just made it do. I love this. And then on here, I decided to use a 4x6 cut apart because it's so beautiful. And I already had so many pictures of her here. So just simple on the front, on the back and the sides. So I hope you've enjoyed this flip through. I enjoyed sharing it with you. I always like to give you some ideas about what you can do and how different things look with different pattern paper. So I'll be back in, let's see, this is July, August, September, and we're gonna do a cutesy Halloween. Not gonna be scary Halloween, it's more pumpkins, a little bit of Halloween, costume-ish things. So very kid-friendly. We're gonna be doing that in September. So I'll be back there with a kit unless I see you before that. But thank you so much. I do have a few of these kits still available. So go on out there to my Etsy shop and pick one up if you're wanting to make this before Christmas for a gift or for yourself, and those links are in the boxes below. So thank you guys so much for your support and your sweet words. It really, really helps, and I do appreciate it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.